Hey boys, Britical Saiyans here. I'm Jonah.
No, Matt.
And we got some rule changes and ban cards for Fusion World.
Yeah. We knew about the ban list coming, but the rule change was something that is completely come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So basically, to sum it up, the rule change has been changed. So if you are going first at the start of the game, you are allowed to draw.
Yeah.
That is it. So going second, you get to draw an energy marker. Going first, you just get to draw. It's to try and give you more options on what to charge at the start of the game, basically. And it's so going second doesn't have as much of an advantage because they get an energy marker, they get to draw, they get to attack and draw again, or in some cases crit, but
yeah,
general basis, draw. So going second, you gain two extra cards in your hands. If you're not a draw, you gain the extra one. Whereas if you've gone first, you basically got your 6, and you go down to 5, and then you got to take the life to go back up, and then you draw for turn, and then that's when you can start going forward. Honestly, this change is not going to break the game.
No.
It is not going to make the player going first suddenly have the advantage.
And it's needed.
And it was needed to try and bring up so that both players have some sort of equal footing.
Well, yeah, because it just made going second better.
Yeah.
Like, it made it heavily better. Like, going first was basically just, like, taking a knee because you got so little out of it, except you were able to charge first. But it doesn't matter when your opponent gets an energy marker. So,
yeah. So they're always going to be energy ahead anyway.
So there was no point going first.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah, they've made that change, which is good.
I'm not sure when that's effective. July 1st.
Yeah.
And the digital version, July 11th.
Wow.
Wow, that's a long way away.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
That's like, what? We've got 3 weeks? 3 weeks?
10-day difference in, like, implementation. Well, yeah, when it's implemented. But still, jeez.
I like how they got the list of products. It's like, but...
Yeah, because it's correcting the rule manual.
Yeah. Okay. But they haven't... What?
No. Go to the tab. Just check. Yeah, that's all.
Anyway, moving on.
Yep.
So they've, as Joe said, they've finally done an actual ban list for Fusion World, but it's taken them up to the, I'm going to say the 3rd set, even though it's technically not the 3rd set because it's not out yet. That's not until August, but they not in Masters. For those who don't know, they normally do ban lists around the release of a new set.
Mostly because they're worried about interaction with new cards coming in the set.
Yeah. So that's how the Masters normally does their ban list. This one just seems to have just come out of nowhere that they've decided, right, we've got enough tournament data now, let's just do a ban list. Whether they continue to do ban lists in just random intervals, like they'll do a few tournaments, see what's happening, do a new ban list, rinse, repeat, So we're looking at maybe 2-3 ban lists each season. Maybe. Depends if they go that route. Or they could change it to start doing it with the releases of sets. But I don't see them doing that until maybe set 5 onwards. Just to give more card pool. And so the game is just a bit more progressed in before going, right, okay, there's enough sets now where we can start doing this set-wise ban lists instead of just, here's a ban list after X amount of tournaments.
I think this arguably is like an emergency ban list because they've realised as of set 2 there's these huge changes in what's happening. They're just like, oh, we need to do this now.
Ooh. same restrictions.
Yeah.
July 1st, July 11th. Although that means if there's any tournaments before then, ouch.
Yeah. Also means that on the digital version you've got longer time to do all this.
Yeah.
So
to deal with all this pain.
Yep.
Anyway, so the actual banned cards, they've only banned two cards. So they banned this one drop row sheet. If you're confused on why there's 4 different ones, it's just had 4 different prints. It's the same card, it's just had 4 different prints.
Yep.
So they're just like, yes, we're just going to show you it is this card we mean, and it is there are many, many versions of this card.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that one just looks awesome. But for those who don't know, basically for red decks, this is just a 1-drop activate main where you can take a life to your hand, and then your extra cards would get reduced by 1 red for their cost. So if they only cost 1 red, they became 0. If they cost 2, they become 1, so on and so forth. In set 2, we had the introduction of the Torrent Power Goku, and along with that came some other red extra cards that were pretty powerful. And this making them reduce their cost was just crazy. And then there was also people were using the Torrent Power from set 1 as a 5k buff during the player's turn. Just eventually it got to a point where you shouldn't be paying cheaper things like that or playing things for free, because free advantage is just too much. And this also gave decks such massive control over their life because it's a 1-drop that can rip a life. Other things that rip lives, usually they're 2 cost, 3 cost, 4 cost.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're usually only on plays, where this is every turn.
Yeah, like the concept was good, but they made it too good, too early.
Yeah.
So.
And I think their explanation was the fact that it's controlled life.
Yeah. Well, you scroll down, it'll say.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so this card skill lets players adjust their life, make it easier to control, awakening timing along with reduction of energy costs, is greatly affecting the ability to deliver a decisive final blow. So, yeah, and they realised that there's a lot of red decks now because of it, so they've decided to ban it to try and control that.
Yeah. The next ban card is the Rebriam. She's just a 4-drop, double strike, 20k, but because she's Torrent Power, she's beyond busted in a Torrent Power Goku deck, because it was just pay 1, discard a card, whack a 20k double strike out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As I said here, this card has double strike. When combined with the leader, Goku can be played for 1 cost and lets the player go on a rampage-like attack. Okay. In most conditions, the defending player becomes greatly limited in options to and must maintain their life cards to a certain level, which greatly decreases its chance to win. Due to this, we decided to designate this card as banned. I think if this was just allowed to, well, it just didn't have the Torrent Power tag, and it just was just a 4-drop 20k double striker, I don't think it would have been banned. It's been banned because of this. Like, that is it. It's because of this leader.
Yeah. Well, they banned it because it was like Torrent Power. Also, his Torrent Power deck that just plays stuff out super easy. And they realised, oh wait, we've made it too good.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And then another thing that they've gone and done, they've restricted Kefla.
Yep.
So Kefla is an absolutely nuts card.
Yeah.
To be honest. So, for those who are unsure, it's permanent. If your leader's awakened, she gains 5k power. On play, you get to draw a card and then play a battle card that costs 3 or less and Torrent Power in its special traits from your hand. Right. So, the same thing as the Rebrian. You pay 1, discard a card, play this from your hand, because you're awakened. draw a card to replace the one you just discarded, then play a 3 or less taunt power. Now, we know Ribu has a 4 cost, can't play her with this, but that doesn't matter. There are other 3 costs that are so good that you can play, which also will draw a card on play. So, effectively, you've not minused in any way, you've just plussed quite heavily. And the reason I'm saying heavily is because you've gained 2 bodies on the board and drawn 2 cards for 1 energy, and that is too overpowered.
Yeah.
Simple as, it is too good. You should not have that kind of level of advantage of 1 energy.
No.
Yes, the other part of the cost is discarding a card, but when you got cards that draw you back up, the cost is nullified. Honestly, I would have... Restricting it is fair enough, but I think banning it would have been just as fine.
Well, yeah, I think they restricted it because they want people to still can't play the game.
Well, it's so what they said, they're being able to play this card multiple times in a match using this leader skill gives the player a clear advantage. It has a powerful on-play effect, making it stable, and at the same time has good synergy to progress a game, which results in more players that anticipated using it in battles becoming one-sided. So they restricted it.
Yeah.
And there you go then, guys. Honestly, I know why they focused on red, because as soon as the Taunt Power Goku drops, that was it. Basically, there was just
red everywhere.
If you looked at a top 16 in a tournament, at least 14 of the decks are red.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because the tournament results I've seen, there has been times where you've seen the odd yellow deck creep in or the odd green deck, but honestly, the vast majority is Taunt Power Goku. Although, sorry, there has been a Beerus that snuck in at one point, but it's that Goku, and the reason being is because it keeps playing out big bodies for low cost that gain advantage on play.
Yeah.
And completely counteract what the leader's supposed to minus in trade off for you to get the board, to get the aggro. So your hand size should be a lower point because you're meant to be discarding cards to get things on the board, and as well as paying your energy to get things on the board, because that's another thing. It's the fact that it only costs 1 energy, and then you've got the rest of your energy open to play more things. It didn't get balanced in the correct way.
No.
The trade-off is you're supposed to span the board, have low hand, be very aggressive. That's how it's supposed to work, and your opponent's supposed to then either try and control your boards or try and out aggro you to try and wither your life down. But it just hasn't worked out like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, they kind of made it too good, and now they're like, well, damn, we gotta bring this back. And like, we were expecting green to get hit at some point, but I think they realised that as soon as Set 2 came out, no one really cared about green because red was just better and quicker.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, because before Taunt Power Goku, it was Broly or Gohan.
Yeah.
That was it. It was just
Mostly
green.
Broly.
I'm hoping this doesn't become a reoccurring theme, where the next set will come out and it'll be just top 16 will be this colour.
Yeah, they
and then next set it'll be a different colour. Like every set is just going to be a different colour, and it's just going to be that colour that's dominated.
I think they've made the game, like, they've made cards too good too quickly because they want people to like play it, so they want to get the interest. But it's like if you make, like if you power scale the game too fast, not only does it like burn out what you can do with it, but it also has this situation where you have to basically kill a deck to slow it down.
Oh, this hasn't killed the deck.
Well, no, it won't. But
It hasn't even slowed it down. The deck is still going to be stupid.
well, once it changed and implemented, it might make things different.
The only biggest issue is going to be the Kefla. The Roshi and the Kefla.
Yeah.
Because Kefla being at 1. The biggest out of the two is the Roshi hit because of being able to control life.
Yeah.
But basically all that's going to happen is people are going to look at other cards to control life. And the deck will just be that tiny bit slower. Otherwise, it's just going to be not much different. All that's going to happen, I reckon, is speed is just going to go down that tiny little bit, and that is it.
Yeah. Well, have to see how it affects.
And we'll see the first tournament when this new ban list comes in effect. Alright, guys. Leave any thoughts in your comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.